Hello and welcome to Invest in Your Face. If you are new here, my name is Amy and this is a channel dedicated to topics related to melasma. Today I'm talking about the negative impact melasma can have on self-esteem and share what I do to not let it get the best of me. The severity of melasma for each person varies and how that person perceives it also varies, but I do think we can all relate in more ways than not. So recently I read a few research studies about melasma and its negative impact on self-esteem. And the studies looked at responses from women with melasma. And some of the questions were, how noticeable do you think your melasma is to others? How often do you think about your melasma? In what ways does it affect your social life? And the results seem obvious that many with melasma experience feelings of decreased self-esteem, increased self-consciousness, feelings of frustration with expensive and ineffective treatments, and even feelings of isolation. My guess is that most everyone with melasma has experienced these feelings at some point. Am I right? So one of the studies noted that there is very little published about how to improve quality of life and self-esteem. So I started thinking, what's my approach? Now trust me when I say I have felt self-conscious and bummed to the point of tears about my melasma in the past, and the way I keep it in check more recently may sound simplistic, but please stay with me. Find ways to manage your melasma, and that in and of itself will help with how you feel, how you perceive this chronic pigment condition that's right there on your face, and help turn around those negative feelings and boost confidence. Please keep watching. So what do I mean? Well, generally what makes most of us have a negative emotion about any topic or situation usually comes from a feeling of out of controlness. And that pertains to everything, right? But here on this channel today, I'm talking about melasma and the impact it can have on self-esteem. And not to oversimplify, but you can turn this around. In other words, take control of the situation. And what does that look like? Well, I think that looks different for each person. There are so many factors, as you know, that can trigger or contribute to melasma. And the factors that cause it in the first place will continue to stimulate the skin pigment of melasma as long as there is exposure to it. It's important to keep this in mind when you consider your treatment results and other people's treatment results, mine included. Not everyone will have the same results. There are too many variables. Also keep in mind, when it comes to melasma, there are multiple ways to measure treatment results, not just clinical, but also psychological. For me, there is a level of satisfaction in just taking steps to manage my melasma. I guess that's partly because there is no cure. It can come back quickly and easily with something as simple as too much unprotected sun exposure in just one afternoon. It can be so frustrating. And what's even more frustrating for me most of the time is that it can come back over time once a treatment is stopped. And for me, there is also a level of satisfaction even when a treatment lightens the pigment just slightly, but enough that I can tell an improved ease with concealing it with makeup. So ladies, and I say ladies because 90% of people affected by melasma are women. I encourage you to take control and don't let the mirror tell you that you can't leave the house today. We are outgoing. We want to get outdoors, be active, and cannot be stopped by melasma. So if you look at it like someone would approach a business, it only makes sense to take control and put into place a good business management plan. In kind of the same way, a plan to manage melasma would likely produce an improved outcome, and ultimately that would mean feeling better overall. As I mentioned before, since there are so many factors affecting melasma, it's unrealistic to think that there is just one solution or treatment. It's all about management for the best long-term solution. And for you, this may mean just being super diligent about wearing sunscreen or never being without a wide-brimmed hat when you head outdoors. And for others, it may mean also seeking the latest, greatest topical treatments or medical office procedures. Whatever that is for you, I recommend, because from my experience, even when I know my melasma is not looking its best, I am less hard on myself about it when I have a plan in place. So currently, I am in the middle of what seems like a super slow 16-week topical pigment corrector regimen. And for sure, I will post a video about it in a few weeks. But for now, needless to say, 16 weeks has required skincare discipline and patience. And I bring this up as an example of how just having this treatment plan is beneficial for my overall well-being. So since starting the product, I can tell I'm not focusing on how my melasma is looking from day to day. Instead, it's allowing me to be more relaxed about it, optimistic about the treatment plan, and hopeful that the pigment is improving. So overall, the things that help me are keeping up with what's new in the dermatology world about melasma, determining ways that I can manage the triggers, and to be honest, sharing the information on this channel. I've made it a sport to find ways to avoid sun exposure on my face when possible, and sunscreen is always a given. So I'm always researching and testing various mineral sunscreens. Also, I want to stress to you the value of following up with a dermatology provider to see what additional treatments are available for you. And find makeup that helps to conceal the melasma that works well for you. Now, makeup only covers it up temporarily, right? But I know I feel better when I look in the mirror and I don't see my melasma mustache. And right now, you can't see it either. Now, some days I wear minimal to no makeup, and other days I go full coverage. It all depends on what I'm doing and how I'm feeling that day. So to recap, do not focus on the melasma. Instead, create your very own management plan and focus on that. On this channel, I hope my videos help you with creating that. You know, I used to avoid certain outdoor activities because of the sun, and when I did get out in the sun, I would worry that my melasma was getting darker by the minute and feel so self-conscious about having to cover up all the time under my big hats. But now, I focus on the things I'm doing to manage my melasma, and I feel good about them. I no longer feel weird about getting outdoors and covering up under my jumbo visor or using that umbrella when it's not raining. I know I've spoken about that before, but see what I'm getting at? Shift the focus, and it will hopefully allow you to be less hard on yourself. It's a simple message, and it's what has helped me, so I hope sharing it has been helpful for you. Please check out my other videos where I share many topics about how I manage my melasma. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much to my current subscribers. Please feel free to leave a comment and let me know how you approach melasma to keep it from getting the best of you. Wishing you good health, and thank you for taking the time to invest in your face. Bye.